Oh, welcome to Cover 2 TV. It's the preview show. It's me, it's Ste, it's Tom Jennings, it's NFL Week 6. I can't wait for it. The season is flying by. We've seen some belter ball games. We're going to look at 4 and then take a spin around the league. The 4 games that we're going to look at in order are Pittsburgh Steelers, Kansas City Chiefs. We've got the Chargers against the Raiders, 49ers against the Redskins, and the Bears against the Ravens. And then we'll do the spin around the league. This is never going to get old.
We haven't synced those finger spins.
No, I don't think I can.
Yeah, I quite like that. We're different. We're the same, but we're different. I quite like that. Yeah. So we're doing the same motion, we're just doing it in different ways. That sums it up.
Okay. I like that too then. Because I'm the same, but different.
And also, we're not choreographing.
No, we're not.
Choreographing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Because that's too far. Imagine if we did start doing choreography.
I mean, I don't think your vocabulary could take it, if I'm honest.
I can't even say the word, never mind do it. So yeah, let's move on, it's fine.
Okay, so we'll start off then, Jenno, with the Steelers at the Kansas City Chiefs. 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs, looking like the best team in the NFL right now. What do you think is going to decide this matchup?
I think the fact that the Chiefs look almost unbeatable right now, and the fact that I keep picking against them, so therefore I've changed my mind and picked them to win every game till the end of the season, because I've just got sick of them killing me on the pick-em by me trying to pick these upset picks. I think mainly we're going to see what Ben has now, because Ben's been talking about, has he got it anymore? And people have argued, was he joking, was he serious? But the truth is, he hasn't played well now for about 18 months. And he is getting up there in age, and he has took a lot of attrition, and it may actually be the end of Ben Roethlisberger. It may not be, because again we all know how he likes to, get all the attention on himself. Big lover of that, Ben. So I think we're going to see now, what does Ben have, and also are they going to run Le'Veon Bell? Because I still don't understand why Le'Veon Bell was not run against the Jaguars, who had a terrible rushing defense.
It's nuts, isn't it, Staying? It's actually, we forgot actually to do the pick'em scores from last week on the review show. Should we just do it quickly now?
It's fine.
Stay got a big fat 0.
I forgot to submit my picks.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I got 5 though, so it wasn't that much. On what I said on the show, so it's fine.
I went 7-7, I think it was.
I think it's both went 7-7.
I went 7-7. I was right on to go my 9-5 prediction, and I got the last 2 wrong. And
yeah, I pulled it back with the last few because I was doing terribly. I think I got the last 4 right or something like that. So I think I'm in 3rd place in the league behind Harshall, who's and Lee, what's his surname?
Reynolds, I think it is.
Reynolds, yeah. So I'm behind them. I'm hot on your tails. 10 points behind.
I'm out now because I forgot to submit picks. I'm just done.
Oh, well, listen, just like Ben Roethlisberger, you like to get behind and then go for it. You're more than Matt Stafford of the NFL.
yeah, I'm very...
4th quarter, stay on, here I come, everyone right.
Don't bank on it. Don't bank on it.
So what do you think? How do you think this matchup's going to be?
I'm really looking forward to it because I think it's the most fun offense against one of the most fun defenses. For all of Pittsburgh's woes, people are forgetting the defense is playing really well, predominantly playing really well. Even against Jacksonville, they stopped Fournette over, like say, it was one massive run. Other than that, they contained him pretty well. The Jags just fair play to them, just kept going back to him and avoiding Bortles. The Chiefs won't do that, obviously. They're going to let Alex Smith have a go. Obviously, they're going to let him try and play quarterback, which Jacksonville don't do with Blake Bortles. So that'll be a fun, and there'll be a lot of speed on the pitch, in terms of the likes of Shazier. They're all lightning fast, and obviously you've got the likes of Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt. It's a proper marquee matchup, isn't it? It's a very important matchup. You think maybe in terms of seedings, I'd still expect both these teams now to go on and win their divisions.
Yeah.
So there could be bye implications, there could be home field advantage implications when we get to the end of the season. It's a really, really good game, and I have picked the Chiefs as well. But because I think you've got to at this stage, they're the best team in the league at the minute. They're starting to remind me of last year's Falcons, whereby this time last year, you knew they were good. The year before that, it was the Carolina Panthers. There's one of these teams that you just know you should back these to the hill now, and I think the Chiefs have amazed.
For me, it's the way that they're moving the ball around the offense. I mean, they're not focused in on one guy, because sometimes it becomes very easy during NFL season. Belichick's the best at this, isn't he? He takes away that one weapon that you've got, whereas the Chiefs have got multiple weapons, not only running back and wide receivers and stuff. Kelsey questionable for the game, I think I'm right in saying still.
Yeah.
But you know what? They've still got the weapons, and the fact that he's spreading it around and hitting so many different receivers is going to make it really difficult for the Steelers. But, you know, flip side, exactly what you said, Steve, the Steelers D's looking really good. TJ Watt's looking really good now as well. He got another sack last weekend. He's starting to get into that system and stuff. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup. But I do think that the Chiefs actually will probably win by 10 plus points.
Really, I think it'll be close to that. If I'm honest, I can see the Steelers' offense kind of clicking a bit more. Their issue they've got is they've got two absolute stars, which should be a good. Well, obviously, it is a good thing. You've got good players, but
need the balance to go with the rest of the
at the minute, it's yeah, very much so. It's like Antonio Brown's complaining 1 week because he's not getting the ball, and you know he's knocking water coolers over. Then the next week he gets the ball tons, and then Le'Veon Bell's coming out saying, "I don't understand why I didn't get the ball." There is a balance to be had, and unfortunately, they're not doing that right now for them. But they shouldn't. I don't know if they should be game planning so much about it. Sometimes you can just see what happens. So if AB is having a great day, but you're still not scoring, you go, you know what, this isn't your game today, Antonio. You know, we're going to ride Le'Veon Bell, or reverse it, and then you've got Brian to throw into the mix. They've got the weapons there, and the Steelers, I still think, are a good team. I think they've just had a blip, and obviously the quarterback is very much declined. I think he isn't the same guy.
The issue for me is if the Chiefs get ahead, we will see more of what we saw last week, and that's what the Jaguars did to them. And once the Steelers went behind, they just kept throwing it, and that offense just became so off kilter that they never got back to it. And it takes a brave coach then to still keep trying to run the ball. And I'm not sure that Tomlin's got that in him at the moment, because it seems like, well, we talked about it yesterday, Steve. It seems like at the moment, Jenno, that they're not looking like a well-coached side.
They're not, and I don't get why they're not. And just speaking about that, the way the Chiefs play defense, they're only going to rush 3. And they're going to put everyone else in zone coverage. Ben's going to get picked off a few times. That's generally how I see it, unless they get that running game going. I've heard people complaining about Todd Haley's coaching of the offense, but I was listening to Ike Taylor talking, he was like, well, Ben Roethlisberger's been there now for over 10 years. He can pick whatever play he wants. He can tell, he's not in a position where he can't tell the offense coordinator, I don't like that play.
Well, even if he doesn't like it, he can audible.
That's what I'm saying.
And Rodgers does it all the time. You see what you can tell the play call is completely, and sometimes you can visibly see. And basically, I'll just check out. Brady's the master of checking out a play, so I'm with you.
So that's what I'm saying when they're saying badly coached. Well,
who you're pointing the finger at is what you're trying to say.
I'm saying to protect people like protecting Ben Roethlisberger. It's like, no, he's been there long enough, and he can always audible out of different plays. So using that as bad coaching,
I don't know. Oh, okay, that's a fair point. But you know, ultimately you are there to coach the quarterback. He's got a quarterback coach, he's got an offensive coordinator, and if they're telling him to do one thing and he's deciding against it, either they're not making themselves respected enough in that locker room to Ben, that it's bad coaching that on that flip side of it, do you know what I mean? And I do agree with your point, but equally at some point, there's someone else higher up the food chain than you. At some point he's got to start listening to them.
Listen, if the head coach says to Ben, I don't think it's Ben checking out the plays. I think it's him not checking out the plays.
That was the point I was making. It's Ben. No matter how bad plays they are, Ben always has the option to choose. So I'm saying that you can't blame the coaches when ultimately it comes down to.
And especially, it looks like they do a bit of run pass option stuff as well, where you know Ben can either choose to hand it off the bell or to throw it and stuff like that. I'm with you there. I just think they're too talented to be really poor. I think that I don't think they're a bad team. I think they'll be in the playoffs. I do have concerns about Ben, and if you've got concerns about a player, the last place you want to be going is Arrowhead, which is a fierce home field advantage for the Chiefs, and they're the best team in the league, and you're just coming off getting your asses handed to you by the Jags. It's a very, very tough match, and I think if Pittsburgh lose, then that, being 3-3, the narrative is going to be very much is this it for these? You know what I mean? Which it shouldn't be, but that's where we're heading. Okay, well, we'll move on then. We've got the 1-4 Chargers going up to Oakland, to the 2-3 Raiders. It's a divisional matchup, of course. Derek Carr could be back for this game, I think I'm right in saying, Steve. He should be, I think. And I think for me, if that's the case, then the Raiders are going to have too much for the Chargers. And to be honest, I maybe even would have picked them anyway with EJ Manuel at quarterback. Maybe, I'm not too sure. No, I don't think I would actually. I think I would have picked the Chargers if Manuel was playing, just because I would have trusted the pass rush to get to him, Bosa and Ingram and stuff. I think I would have. Like, we just be talking about checking plays and stuff. That's one thing that EJ Manuel has never, even at Buffalo, he's never been able to do. He was very poor at reading defenses and disguises and stuff, and I think the Chargers will get him if he plays, but it looks like Carr's going to play. Again, it's mad because the Chargers have been pretty rubbish, haven't they? But if they win this game, they will be 2-4, and the Raiders will be 2-4. I'm right in saying.
Yeah.
So it's all to play for, and especially.
But the problem that they've got is that they've got the Chiefs at 5-0 and the Broncos at 3-1 right now.
Absolutely.
And these guys are looking streets ahead of the other two.
Yes, they are. I'm with you there. But I think if you are the Chargers and you can get back to 2-4, you're not completely dead. You're not done. You're not the Giants where your season's ended.
I don't know. I think I disagree with that.
You think 2-4 does you?
I think the Broncos and the Chiefs are so much better than them.
Yeah, but then
they're out at 2-4.
But then
they're out of it now.
Yeah, but then think of the other playoff spot. Which other wild card? At the minute, the Bengals could get a wild card with 8-8.
Yeah.
You know, the Bills.
Well, you've got the AFC East, the Bills, the Jets, the Patriots all at 3-2, and the Dolphins at 2-2.
Exactly. So that I don't think it's going to take 11 wins to get that second wild card. It's probably going to take 9 maybe. So if you're 2-4, you're not miles away from 9-7 at the end of the season, are you really?
I just don't think they're good enough to pick up the wins.
Well, that's a different question. It's where I disagree, because I think they are. I think they're very talented. I think they've charged themselves far too often this year. You know, they've had just a bad luck at the end, or a bad kicker, bad decisions and stuff. What you've got to remember is Oakland's defence isn't very good. It's not. We were worried about it going into the year, and it's played out that way pretty much now. The Ravens put 30 on them, and the Ravens offence, how often have we spoke about that? So Phil Rivers has got the weapons and the ability to get after that defence.
Has got the ability. Are we not saying that Phil, but again, are we not going to say that Phil Rivers looks like he's in decline?
Yeah,
well?
I think so. I think you're right.
I think there's going to be, either this year or next year, there's going to be a big quarterback exodus, because there's going to be 4 or 5 big name quarterbacks that we all know from that 2004 and 2003 draft. All gone. Yeah. That's going to leave a massive gap in the NFL, and I think Rivers is one of them.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I think he still has the capability to score points against this team. It's whether, and to be fair, Oakland, even with Derek Carr, the Oakland offense wasn't, Well,
Amari Cooper's just gone missing.
Well, he can't get open, and then he drops everything, and then Lynch looks done, if I'm honest. Yeah. At the beginning, I think the first game of the season, we were sitting here going, wow, Lynch looked good, and since then, Lynch has not looked good at all. He hasn't, so I must have picked Oakland, but I am very, very on the fence about that. I've done it because they're at home, and I say that.
What about you, Jenno?
We'll see. I've went for Oakland if Carr plays, Chargers if he doesn't. I think it's that simple.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm with you.
And I'll remember to change it this time, because I did that with the Dolphins and then forgot to change it.
At least you submitted your picks.
This is true.
Who's your pick?
Raiders.
Oh yeah,
Raiders, I said at the top.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll move it on then. We've got the 0-5 49ers against the 2-2 Redskins. Ste, where do you think this one's going to lie?
This is a really intriguing matchup, because the 49ers are 0-5, and it's like they've lost by 11 points combined. You mentioned on the last show, it was like an amazing stat, and they've been in every game, and
they're 2 overtime losses on the bounce.
They might be the best 0-5 team you've ever seen.
Are they out of it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were never in it. But what interests me about this is it's going to be the 49ers very, very good front 7, especially particularly the front 4, I think, or 3. And Washington are sneaky, because I think maybe because they were on the bye week and they got beat by the Chiefs, didn't they, beforehand. They are very good at the both line of scrimmage on both lines. So defensive line is very good, and their offensive line is very good, and that gives you a huge chance. And I want to see, can the Washington offensive line stop that San Francisco defensive line? Because if they can, it might be with Dallas declining a bit in terms of their line, Washington might have one of the best lines in the league.
Oh, I must say, I mean, as good as the front 4 certainly are for the 49ers, they've still taken a lot of points. Like, they are conceding loads of points.
They can't cover, which is an issue. But I think if you can get after Kirk Cousins, he is a player who you can get after. Kirk Cousins can have meltdown games. He's had a pretty good season so far, but pass rush it gets
to all of them, doesn't it? I know I rate Kirk Cousins higher than you two, because from the shows at the start of the season and stuff. Jenno, how do you see this one playing out, mate?
I think we're going to see Kirk Cousins auditioning for the San Francisco 49ers job next season. I think they're going to destroy them. I think that it's going to be a wipeout for the Redskins. I'm really impressed with the Redskins when I watched them against the Chiefs 2 weeks ago. They were in that game quite a lot, and we actually saw some chemistry with Terrell Pryor. There could be something in this Redskins team. They might be the best team with no stars. Like, there's no real stars on that Redskins team, but they're just good players everywhere with depth as well. As they seem to have depth. And I think the 49ers, I said it before the season, I think it's played out the garbage. They've got nothing. Even the overtime losses have come from like fourth quarter meltdowns from other teams. It's not been like they've been in the game all the way through.
They've certainly done a little bit of lions about it, like.
Yeah.
But in fairness to them, there's loads of offences out there that don't go and get those points when they need to.
But against the Colts, I mean, are we putting the Colts in the playoffs?
I think they're good. I think they've got an okay defense, but they've got no offense. That's the issue. I mean, they've got no. Carlos Hyde's been banged up and stuff. You know, Pierre Garçon's decent. Brian Hoyer's nah.
Yeah, Garçon, man.
He's fine.
When
He's
he was
a
at the
two,
Redskins, like he was supposed to go there as a wide receiver 1, and he never really.
No, he's a 2, isn't
he? Manning made him look good in the Colts back in the day. Because he was getting open because there was other guys on that team. Reggie Wayne was on the other side, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
he's
why he was getting open. And he struggled ever since.
I agree. Yeah, I think I'm with Jenno. I think Washington will win by at least a touchdown and stuff. But I'm really interested. Washington are one of the good teams that no one's talking about. I think I got them wrong. I thought they were going to be the worst team in that division by far. In fact, I thought the other 3 were going to be good. It turns out the Giants are the worst team in the league. The Redskins, I think, if you go to 3-2 again in that division, where the Dallas are on a bye, for example, we don't know how Philly are going to go on Thursday night. I like Washington. I think Washington are pushing for a playoff place now, and I'm interested to see if you want to be a playoff team, you beat the 49ers at home, don't you? You've got to go and do it. Yeah, again, this is the type of game that these have. Kirk Cousins has had these games where you've gone, how have you done that? So fingers crossed for them, it works out well, and I think it will. I think they'll win comfortably.
I agree with that one. Who's your pick? Was it the Redskins as well?
Yeah, Redskins. I'm not picking the 49ers to win any game, but I think they will win a game this season. I just don't know when it'll be. So I'm just going to go.
They're going to play spoiler. Yeah, they're going to play spoiler somewhere.
We'll move on to the Bears at 1-4 against the Ravens at 3-2.
How's that happened?
Mate, I don't know.
How are they 3-2?
I have no idea.
They started off good, then were terrible, and then
play the Oakland Raiders.
Their offense has just been a little bit like that, hasn't it? I mean, it's dog shit, generally speaking. The Bears, though, interestingly for me, I have picked the Ravens because obviously they've got wins under the belt so far this season, but Mitchell Trubisky come in against the Vikings. He didn't excel, but I thought that was a good debut for somebody like him, if I'm honest. I know Steve disagreed with me yesterday when I said it. But apart from obviously the interception late on in the game, it was a pretty good game. He's coming in against one of the best defences in the league in the Vikings, so I thought it was okay. I think it was a real baptism of fire. I would have personally saved him for this game and gone up against the Ravens, but you know, that defence is good as well. So it's difficult, but I am really interested to see how Trubisky handles it. You know, another week under his belt. Let's see more of that bootleg. Let's see him throwing on the run. Can these wide receivers get open for him again? Can he get Cohen into the game as well? So he's got some pieces to play with, and hopefully we'll see a steady improvement. I imagine they're still going to be like this because it's his first season.
Yeah, he's a rookie, and I picked this game to talk about because I want to know what Baltimore are going to do, because they've got a game tape on Trubisky. And it's pretty obvious what the game plan is. It's to get him on bootlegs and get him out the pocket and stuff. So if they play contain, I would love to see them play contain, because I want to see Trubisky in the pocket more. Because everything was, and rightly so, that's good coaching, is to get him out, make it define throws, make it easier for him and stuff. So Baltimore have got the capability with their pass rush, their edge guys and their linebackers to play contain. And if they do, it'll be interesting to see how Trubisky does in the pocket. His biggest problem is going to be who's he throwing to.
Yeah.
His best 2 weapons are running backs. Everyone else is just crap or just a fella. You know, I mean, it could be anyone. It could be me and you playing. Who knows? It could be anyone. So that I do feel for him in that regard, and that's why I think the Ravens are going to go 4-2, which is a shocking within itself, because after a couple of weeks, Joe Flacco looked like he was, again, speaking of done, he looked like he was done. But last week he showed signs of life. He looked a bit more. He looked better. He looked on time, which he hadn't been. He'd been off time for a long time. Yeah, that makes sense.
They need to get that deep ball working. That's when Flacco starts playing
well. Joe Flacco's always been touchdown or check down. He's very. That's what he is. He isn't good intermediate. You know, he's not a good 10, 15 yard passer. He's a big bomber, or he'll just check down to Ray Rice. or whoever his running back at the time is. So I'm interested to see. I think the Bears defense.
Will they stop taking the shots? Or maybe he stopped taking the shots?
Yeah, they have.
You know, I think he stopped taking the shot because I think his back. I think
his back was
I
just
don't
back.
think he can throw it with his back. But I just think, just go back to Mitch Trubisky, because I watched that game as well. I didn't think he played well. I thought after the first drive, he was largely garbage. And I think if that was a Mike Glennon game, we would have absolutely roasted how bad he was. But as a rookie, you're going to have those games. Look how bad Deshaun Watson was in his first game, and then look how good he played against like the Patriots and against whoever the second game was, the Titans.
He hammered the Titans, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what we're going to see from the Bears offense.
I feel sorry for Trubisky. I really feel sorry for him, and that at least Watson has got a guy who you can throw it in the area of, and he will make a play. So DeAndre Hopkins will make a play for you. So as a rookie, you're not gonna be perfect. So your throw might be half a yard off. It might be too high by a yard, but DeAndre Hopkins goes up and gets it, and your running back helps you and stuff. Trubisky just hasn't got it.
Kendall Wright's not doing that.
Kendall Wright isn't boxing anyone out. You know, Josh Bellamy or whatever. Is it Bellamy? Isn't I don't even know his name. Isn't winning his one-on-one battle. So that's really hard for Trubisky. And I think Baltimore might, take him to school a little bit. I think it could be I think it could be one of those where it's a couple of interceptions, couple of sacks type of game.
Are we all Ravens then?
Yeah, I think we're all Ravens.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's take our spin around the league. Whoops, forgot that time. Okay, so we'll go Dolphins 2-2. I know. Especially when I had the piece of paper in my left hand. I changed it to go left-handed. At the Atlanta Falcons, who are 3-1 at the moment. Go on stage, just you, mate.
Oh, mate, the Dolphins are garbage. Jake Cutler's just crap at the minute. Honestly, I thought he'd be okay this season.
He looks quite happy in himself, though.
He just looks like Jake Cutler. He is very much Jake Cutler. I think the Falcons by whatever. I think they're 10-point favourites, and I'd take them without the points. I think they are going to absolutely steamroll them.
Yeah, do you know what I just think's mad? They're finding out that our offensive line coach, who likes to put some certain stuff up his nose, is on more money a year than what J.J. is per contract. Yeah, people say NFL players are underpaid. I just want to get that out there when people start moaning about how many players are paid, when an offensive line coach is going to earn more than a year than a guy's going to earn on his whole contract.
There you go.
And he's the one running into people.
They are very much underpaid. What I would say is that it's the best that them lines on his table are the best lines that the Dolphins have had for a while, because the offensive line hasn't done much, the defensive line hasn't been great. So you're speaking of that was a very good lines.
Very good stuff. Okay.
It looked like it when he snorted.
Listen, I wouldn't know, Steve.
His face. He looked happy with himself.
I don't know what he was doing. What's he doing?
He was very much snorting cocaine with a note.
Old school with the note.
He went very
old school.
He went very 1990s cocaine.
He went 1980s. Mate, he generally thought it was like 1980s.
Who takes cocaine anymore?
I don't know. Never have. Never wanted.
Spice is the in drug now. Yeah,
What's Spice?
Move on. It's fine. I don't know.
I thought it was MD.
MD is, there's that as well.
I'm sure Spice is like something you used to get on the kettle run, like in Star Wars or something, do you know what I mean? Anyway.
Are we all going Falcons?
Yeah, we're all going. I don't even need to ask a question, mate. We're all going Falcons. Okay, Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
The Packers.
I'll let you to argue.
It's not going to be any argument here, mate. Packers are looking unstoppable at the moment. Aaron Rodgers is looking like the best quarterback in the league. He's got weapons. Devontae Adams is stepping up. They're not even using Randall Cobb. Jordy Nelson's there, although I don't think he's fully fit at the moment, the way that they're utilising.
It's questionable.
But you put him on, you line him up on offense, and people are going to have to gravitate towards him, and the Packers are using that as a weapon, even though he can't play properly.
And
at
he has,
the moment.
to be fair, he's been a very good red zone weapon all season. So
I mean, it was great by the Cowboys when he just started not to cover him in the red zone. I mean, that was genius.
isn't the best plan. What I would say, I know you're quite pessimistic, but the Vikings last year in this game absolutely hammered the Packers. It wasn't even close at the end, but you know what I mean? It was.
I do think this is a better Packers side though this season. You know, I'm really quite impressed with the Packers so far.
Right. Like, you are right. The offense is better for sure, and what I would say is that the Vikings pass rush can do wonders to anyone. And again, Packers line's been knocked up. It's been questionable. So will Bakhtiari play? If so, that's a huge help because Lane Taylor can go back into guard and McRae can get off the field, and so that will be a massive difference in this game because I would be scared of a left side of McRae and Taylor trying to. You'd imagine they'll just throw Everson Griffin over there, for example, and say, fill your boots.
Mate, he's been fantastic.
7 sacks, is it? 6.5, 7 sacks.
6.5.
Yeah, he's been absolutely. He's a wonderful player. So that worries me. And again, what I am so happy about, and I shouldn't be, let's say happy is the wrong word, but the fact that Dalvin Cook isn't playing, and I'm not happy he's injured, but the lack of a sustained running game.
Well, McKinnon came in, in the last game and stuff, and he looked good. And to be honest with you, I've picked him up on fantasy on the waivers, hopefully. I have not checked the claim order or anything. I think I was 12th anyway, because I was doing pretty well in that league. But you know what? He's not Dalvin Cook. He's been with us for a couple of years now. He's just not the same player. He can have those breakout games every now and again, but actually stringing it together and doing it consistently, that's where he struggles. Yeah. And he was good in the last game.
And that's how you beat that's how you got to beat Green Bay. You got to keep them off the field. The Bengals nearly did it, and Dallas nearly did it, but they just didn't do enough. The Vikings need to be able to stay on the field. To be fair, Phelan and Diggs have had good games against the Packers last year as well. So it isn't. I don't think it's an absolute nailed-on Packers win by all means.
Adam Thielen is fantastic, but he needs to fuck them yellow gloves off because he looks like a tit.
I know what does my head in. I watch the condensed version. I think there's a flag on every play because your mind is just tricked to see yellow. Oh fucking hell! And it's not just him catching it, or he's running like a block and round. I'm like, for fuck's sake! But yeah.
Sort them gloves. Yeah, some with black gloves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're playing footy, wear some black Adidas footy boots or Puma Kings. It's sound old school. You don't need yellow fucking gloves. You forget where your hands are, Adam. Do you know what I mean? Oh, they're there. All right, so I'll catch that point. He's a good wide receiver. In fact, I think he's fucking excellent.
He's a very good player. Yeah.
Who would you play quarterback in this game?
I think it's got to be Case Keenum at the moment because I think Sam Bradford just didn't look right, at the start of that game.
Genuinely, any time someone breathed on him, he was down. It was like worse than what you like.
He's got to be injured. He's just got to still be injured. He's not over that. Like, and the one in the end zone for the safety and stuff, and you're like, how long are you gonna hold the ball there for, Sam?
That wasn't even that was a terrible play, but the thing was a couple of his sacks. One of them, he'd already escaped the sack and then just tumbled over. Like 3 seconds later, that was what made me. Like I joked off the first when they went 3 and out. You get Case Keenum in there taking the piss. And I was like, oh no, Case Keenum really needs to be in there. Sam Bradford's looking.
And to be fair to him, the offense looked well better.
Yeah,
with Keenum. By far, yeah. And that he ran for like 40 yards. How's that happen? But yeah, I think this will be close. I think it'll be within a touchdown. I think Green Bay will win just because I'm back. I mean, I don't know how you can take Case Keenum over Aaron Rodgers in anything, but I think it'll be close. I'm not as... You seem more pessimistic than I am optimistic.
No, not really. I think we'll lose. I don't think we'll lose by loads.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, you just, as we know, you can't leave Rodgers any time on the clock and stuff like that. And unfortunately, whatever you think about the Vikings defense, Rodgers and that offense is absolutely superb. And I think it will come down to one of the, the fourth quarter or something where we're just worn down. Yeah. It comes down to it, and they've got nothing left to give.
Green Bay?
Yeah, I went for Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay as well then. So we move on to the Lions, the Saints. 3-2 Lions, 2-2 Saints. I actually had a bit of a struggle with this one, if I'm honest with you. I've ended up picking the Saints. Yep. I mean, if you had to pick it by quarter, the Saints are going to win the first 3, and the Lions are going to win the last one, obviously. I've always liked Drew Brees, to be honest, and I always kind of will back him.
He should as well. He's played great this season, pretty much all season, and he's definitely now the third best quarterback in the league. I think he's nailed himself onto that. I am picking the Saints as well, but again, I'm not confident in that because Matt Stafford and that offense can tear the Saints defense down. I know for a fact they can because look at them. They
can do it to anyone.
Yeah, Matt Stafford's really good, and the Saints defense isn't, so that helps you. But I think Saints off a bye at home, where they've figured out now they've decided to end the Peterson experiment. Rightly so, it was never a thing. That's one less distraction to worry about. That's 5 snaps a game that you don't have to worry about having him on the field. Just keep Alvin Kamara on the field, spot him with Mark Ingram or wherever, and go from there. And having seen Cam Newton take the Lions on with his arm, you've got to back Drew Brees to be able to do the same thing. I mean, they shut down the running game of the Panthers, and yet Cam Newton beat them with his arm. Well, it makes sense that Drew Brees will be able to do the same. So with better weapons, so that's why I've done it. But again, this is a tough one. I think it's a tough one to call.
What about you, mate?
I've also went for these Saints because I keep watching Stafford getting hit a lot. He's getting it. I know the Saints defense isn't good, but I think they can get a bit of pressure on Stafford. And I don't believe in the Lions running game, so I went for the Saints because I think they're going to be able to I think Drury's going to be able to outscore them before the fourth quarter heroics, where they're going to come just short, like they have on the 2 losses.
Okay, so it's the 3-2 Patriots against division rivals and also 3-2 New York Jets. Week 6 NFL, did you ever think you'd hear that?
No, not really. But I don't see it as a rivalry. Jets need to win for it to be a rivalry, or win something meaningful. So I think the Patriots will win. I mean, I don't think we're good. I think we're garbage. I think our defense is terrible, but I don't believe in their offense. So we'll make them all play.
You say garbage, you've got to quantify garbage. You've got fucking Tom Brady playing not garbage.
Well, like,
the defense is pretty bad.
No, the defense and the offensive line are garbage. Like I was open about, I thought the Buccaneers should have beat us. I think we were there for the taking. It was a Jameis Winston terrible game and bad play calling by not running Doug Martin. And that's the one thing Jets can do. So we can't stop the run, and the Jets can run the ball.
Again, you've got to pick New England. You've been mad not to, but there is a realm of possibility where the Jets can win this game. Which if you said this 5 weeks ago at the beginning of the season, you would have put your house on this game and New England win.
For them to go 6-0.
Probably. So the way the Jets win this game feasibly is they just run whoever it is, whether is it Bilal Powell probably or
Bilal Powell or.
So they run it and then they get after that bad offensive line, which is the Jets, they've still got a decent front for 3 maybe. So I like Wilkerson. He's still a very good player and stuff. So they've got the pass rush to an extent. But having said that, it's Tom Brady and he's playing against an inferior team who've got rookies playing at the back end and to be fair, is it Mo Claiborne, a corner for the Jets has been pretty good, but you've got to take Tom Brady, haven't you, in this game?
Okay.
But it is mad. Would you agree it's mad that there's a way the Jets can win?
It's insane, but we'll move on. We'll go to the Browns and at the Texans now. Steve, we're going to have to speed it up a little bit, I think.
Texans by a mile. Browns are terrible, even with these injuries that they've got, the Browns are the worst team in the league.
Is there a way for the Browns to win?
No.
Okay, sounds. We'll move on then. Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Arizona Cardinals. I have gone for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this one. I just look at the Cardinals right now and they're banged up. Carson Palmer's got no weapons. He doesn't look like a good quarterback at the moment. There's too much pressure. The pocket's collapsing on him all the time. Larry Fitzgerald is still good. He's still great, but he can't do it without that running game as well. They've picked up AP. He's probably not going to learn that, and we've already seen from AP this season that he doesn't look like he's the same runner. So right now, I can't bet on the Cardinals in anything.
It's an Arizona graveyard. This is where everyone's going to end their careers. I'm picking. I don't know who they're playing. I know I'm picking them.
The Bucks.
Yeah.
The reason I've chose the Bucks as well is that LeGarrette Blount ran quite well against them, and so I think Doug Martin will be able to run very, very well against them. Just keep an eye out for Jameis Winston throwing stupid balls towards Patrick Peterson, because that will not end well if he does that. Yeah. Just say to him, listen, Doug Martin, make this a big Doug Martin game and win. Yeah. They should win.
Okay, LA Rams at Jacksonville Jaguars. I had a bit of a struggle with this one as well, I think the Jaguars have really surprised me this season, and not in the... They're just running it with Leonard Fournette. That's not surprising in any way, shape or form, because you would if you did.
That's working.
But it's working, and that nobody can stop him. He's an absolute monster of a running back. I mean, he's bigger than linebackers, and he's just unstoppable. And as we said yesterday, something clearly going on up there, or not going on, as the case may be. We were talking yesterday about that touchdown where he just dived over everybody. I don't get how you can do that. Like, just mentally, don't get it.
He's mentally not there. I mean, I'm just calling over the cornerbacks and come out then. I'll smash through you. Let's go. Like, I always want to tell him, people who have careers play like him, like Earl Campbell, they don't have good later life, mate. Just chill out a little bit. Just avoid a couple of these guys. Try and extend your career and have a good later life. Don't end up like...
Just step out the bounds once in a while, mate.
Fun to watch though, isn't he?
Yeah,
absolutely. I think he was great in college. He made LSU games worth watching. I've gone Rams on the road.
I've went Jags.
Is that the first one we've split on?
For a while, other than the Chargers, maybe Derek Carr. I've gone Rams because I think they'll score too many points. I think as great as the offense has been for Jacksonville, I think they will run Todd Gurley. For some reason, the Steelers didn't run Lev Bell. I think we'll see a healthy dose of Todd Gurley. And that's why, again, to be fair, the Seahawks shut the Rams down, and the Jags are more than capable of doing it. And they will hide Jared Goff in this game. This could be the most runs you've ever seen in any game since like the 70s. It could just be hand off. And I just picked, just on a hunch, Todd Gurley to have a good day.
Same here, really.
Yeah, so I just went the Jags. I just went for home field advantage, and I think Leonard Fournette's gonna just win the game.
Yeah.
Okay. 0-5 Giants, 3-1 Broncos.
Yeah, the Giants are fucking. Who's catching it?
No one. No one.
I feel sorry for them. But
How long's he out for?
they're all done.
The whole season ends in injuries, I believe.
Yeah. So I think definitely Beckham, definitely Marshall, probably Shepherd.
Manning next then.
Well, Manning's looked garbage there anyway, so don't get mad.
I genuinely, how you're going to have your 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th wide receivers against the no-fly zone, and you haven't got a running game.
Yeah.
Can they bring back Earth, Wind and Fire or whatever they were called from back in the day? What was it, Brandon? What was his name? The old running back. They had Earth, Wind and Fire. They had the three-headed.
Oh yeah, I
can't remember the names of them now.
Was it was not the Victor Cruz-ness as well?
It was before Victor Cruz.
No,
was the running back.
Just ones who run all over us, and I can't remember what the name was.
But yeah, get rid.
Yeah.
I mean, how can they win?
They can't.
How can
they can't. They are now going. They might not get a win this season, and I think they probably won't get a win this season.
I mean, the no-fly zone. They might just not. I don't know.
It's going to take a Trevor Siemian meltdown for them not to win this game. So that's.
Can you imagine?
You can imagine a Trevor Siemian meltdown. That seems plausible. Like just.
But you can't imagine. You can't imagine anyone getting open. Who's he throwing it to? Because Chris Harris and the kids to leave are going to turn up.
What would you give me for a shutout?
No, I think because a shutout's very, very rare. You might get a field goal.
We've had 2 or 3 this season already.
Are you predicting one?
No, I'm asking for odds.
Oh, wait, 10 to 1 maybe?
Oh, I'll trade them. I'd chuck a tenner on that.
What's what I'm going to book him offering you these odds.
Well, it's on camera. You have offered me them.
No, it wouldn't be a huge...
Steve's offering them to anyone who's watching. All 523 of you.
PayPal me a tenner.
Damn straight. We'll ping it, mate. Ping it.
Ping me a tenner. No, don't.
It's going to be amazing. Okay, another one I struggle with, actually, both 4-1. It's the Eagles at the Panthers. It's obviously the Thursday night game, which is why we've not spoken about it in depth. Otherwise, I think it really would have been a great one to talk about.
Yeah, because this could feasibly be the NFC title game.
Yeah.
It's that good. It's on the Thursday, so people watching obviously will know the result, or a lot of them will do. I've gone Panthers just because they're at home, and Lane Johnson's out. And Carson Wentz with Lane Johnson compared to without Lane Johnson, it's chalk and cheese. The Panthers defense has got after Matt Stafford and nearly killed him, cut his hand open and stuff. I think they're going to get after Carson Wentz in this game. Short week, you've got to go with 2 good teams, go for the home team.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, I'd say I went for the home team. That was the meat splitter between them.
And to be fair, like seeing last week that Cam looks to be able to throw the ball again, and then
Cam
they'll
looks
hopefully
to be back to the MVP level, and they got the perfect weapons for him. I don't know who Ed Dixon is, don't know where he come from. Spelled his name wrong when I was tweeting it out, but he's amazing.
You did that as well, didn't you?
The exact same thing. Yeah, that's what we
2 illiterates running the account. Brilliant. So we'll move it on then. We've got the Colts versus the Titans, both 2-3. I've gone for the Titans in this game.
If Mariota plays, I'm having the Titans. I've reserved the right to change this.
Again.
Because Matt Castle cannot play.
Yeah. Star over the Titans. If it's Mariota, not if it's Castle. And then, as much as I don't rate Colin Kaepernick as a quarterback, this is one of the situations where he should be playing for the Titans.
I said this as well.
Because he's way better than anything that Matt Castle can give you.
And Brandon Whedon. They picked Brandon Whedon. So if Matt Castle goes as a stinker, that's fine. Brandon Whedon's not fine. To be fair, the Colts did something when they realised their backup quarterback was naff on a stick.
Yeah, they went trading for like a good Patriots backup quarterback rather than the garbage one that we stole.
Rather than the one from 15 years ago or something. Matt Castle was okay 10 years ago.
We stole first.
You've lived in Matt Castle, haven't you?
I've lived it, mate, and I didn't like it. And I was happy when he moved to us, which is the terrible thing
Matt
after
Castle
1 year.
took a 16-0 team and then lost 5 games on them. That's how bad Matt Castle was.
He's not good. But yeah, the Colts, if the Colts win, will that make them 3-3?
Yeah.
And Luck is nearly back, or there's talk that he could be back soon. If they get to 3-3 with him gone, They're very much in the playoff
And then
mix.
you've also got the fact that Texans' best 2 defenders have gone out, so I'm not going to be picking...
Exactly, and you go ahead of the Titans, who will then go to 2 and 4. So you've got a game on them, you've got the tiebreaker on them, and you're getting the Colts aren't out of this now. And I thought they would be, because they that first week they were the worst team in the league with Scott Tolzien. I've lived that life. So yeah, it's amazing. So fair play to them. They've done really well to hang in there. I think they deserve a lot of credit for that. They've beaten pretty average teams, which is fine. You beat who you get. But without Marcus Mariota, the Tennessee Titans look like an average team. So I'm picking the Titans with Mariota, but fair play to the Colts. They've done well. Right.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks very much for joining us once again. We're going to try and pick up a third video this week if we can, if we've got time to do it. Do like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, and leave us your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to join the Pick'em, can they still join the Pick'em group?
Yeah.
Yes.
Join the fucking Pick'em group. If you're playing on the NFL website, I'm sure you can join in the group. And where can they find?
I will put the link in the description if it works. That's fine. You'll automatically go above me because I forgot to do my picks. Come on, Harshal, I'm rooting for you.
No, don't root for Harshal, root for Mr. Bloodred. That's me, by the way.
Harshal.
Fuck it, I'm going to root for Lee Reynolds then. I don't know why, but I feel like I have to now. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you next time on Cover 2 TV.